Hey everybody, I'm feeling really good again about this year using Jung seed. I'll tell you what, our yield is definitely increased, and I'm so happy about that because you know what, when it comes to farming, no doubt you got to be efficient at what you're doing in order to be able to survive. And no doubt we want to definitely thank our good friends over at Jung Seed for the awesome seed that we planted this year. We went with soybeans and corn this year, and our yields are up again for 2 years in a row now. You know what? There's nothing that makes me more happy than seeing high production out of these fields. There's something to farming. It's all about being grounded. Hey, you guys, when you're looking for seed, make sure you give Jung's a call or check them out on their website. Go to jungseed.com and I'll tell you what, you won't be disappointed.
Hey boys, welcome to Squirrel Camp. It's that time of year where it's the mid-October blues, where the deer basically go to another universe and you got to figure out something else to do. You know, well, I think we got an overpopulation of squirrels. We've got red squirrels, we've got gray squirrels, we've got fox squirrels, we've got black squirrels. We've even got some white squirrels. So you know what, to be able to utilize and enjoy your land, it is squirrel time. Better known as take the deer camp sign off and put it to squirrel camp. We are definitely ready to do some squirrel hunting. And we got our good friend Eric from Signs and Lines up here. He did intentionally come up here deer hunting, but no, we are gonna be squirrel hunting. We fooled him. Hey everybody, welcome to our Leroy lunchtime. And it is actually breakfast. Just came in from the woods, and I'm gonna make the boys a little bit of what they call the camp special. So what I do with the camp special is I use some venison sausage here. This is really works out really good. I got this from Leroy's, had it made up there. And I use some ring bologna, same thing. You know, anytime that I get a deer, I basically like to take it in, and I'll take it into Leroy's and have bacon made out of it. I'll have sausage, bunch of burger made. You don't know what the old saying is?
No, what's the old saying?
The old saying is, it's gotta die before you can let it fry. Out here, you know, it's just so much easier to put it in this electric frying pan, and it really does the job. Put the cover on it. Last of the last. Oh God! Oh, that would have been a disaster.
Oh my!
It would have been. That would have been.
That was on camera, Blair.
Oh. Whoa! Almost had the camp special on the floor. That would have been really special. That is absolutely awesome. Hey John, hey Sue, welcome back to our show this week. I'll tell you what, like I do each and every week, we are doing a little bit of squirrel hunting this week with our good friend Eric from Signs and Lines. Hey Eric, I love the looks of your truck right there, man.
Thank you.
You know what? You guys have been wrapping our vehicles for quite a few years, actually ever since we started the show.
Yeah, Dad's been in business for 40 years. He's been started out hand pinstriping. It's evolved into vehicle wraps, indoor, outdoor signage, outdoor lighting, semis, fleet graphics. So pretty much anything in the industry we can handle.
Hey, you know, Eric, when I mentioned to you about doing some squirrel hunting, you actually got pretty excited about this.
Yes.
This is something that you like to do a lot of.
Yeah, brings me back to my childhood. This is what I grew up doing up north, sitting under pine trees and shooting squirrels. So I'm really excited.
Hey, I'll tell you, it's a great way to really kind of take advantage of October, because October, a lot of times you get into that lull where the bow hunting is just not that good. I swear that these deer leave the planet and go somewhere else, because then all of a sudden it gets late October, November, it's the woods are lit up and it's deer time, and that's when I don't want to be in squirrel hunting. So today what we're going to do is we're actually going to work a 40 here. You're going to take half of that 40. I'm going to take the other half. You've got Thomas, I've got Jarrett with me today, and you know, we're going to tear it up for sure, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so the difference is that this year, we did a contest last year up at our farm in Minnesota, and we had Tommy Hicks up there and Hunter. And I'm calling foul play on you, Mr. Hicks. I love this parboil squirrels. I love to fry them. I like to put them on the grill. Squirrels are actually really good eating.
A lot of people might not think that, but this time what I'd like to do is can some squirrels. So if anybody's got a good recipe out there for canning squirrels, make sure you guys and gals send it to us. So hang on to your heinies. Let's see what happens today on our squirrel hunt.
For a squirrel. I tell you what, the squirrel is one of the smartest animals in the woods, second to the skunk. And that's what we should have done. I don't know if it's legal or not, but we probably should have brought Little Stinker for a decoy.
Why would they come into Stinker?
Because they know that it's natural for a skunk to be wandering around. Right? And if he's sitting on her lap, they must think, well, if he's not going to harm the skunk, he's not gonna harm us, right? Little do they know, I got a pellet for their nose. It's gonna go right down to their toes. A man's gotta eat, it's gonna be a long winter. So when we get one, we'll psych them out. About every 15 minutes, we'll send them a picture of the same squirrel in a different pose. So they'll get all nerved up. First one. A chipmunk and a crows. Hey, I think them guys are coming on our side. I hear them. There's a border right here. They're not supposed to go in this half of the 40. And they're all over the place. You know, you just have to sit for at least a half hour, and then all of a sudden they start coming down again. There he goes.
I'll tell you what, that is a hell of a shot Eric made. You know, we had to come back up to the house. We just missed 3 squirrels, a chipmunk, and a very nice grouse. Very disappointing, but you know what? I feel that there's so much foliage up this time of year, and with that 177, it's just not enough. I mean, probably people that are better shots than I am, and I want to hear your opinion on it too. So I came back, got to 22, but you know, the big thing too about squirrel hunting is, and then we're going to go in and sit down, is that realistically you got to like pick your spot. And it takes almost a half hour to 45 minutes before these squirrels actually start coming back out. So you definitely want to logistically look at the right spots. And for me, I'm looking at mature trees, mostly oaks or walnuts, where there's plenty of food for them. They got a lot of holes where they're living in, but you got to have that patience too to sit it out. So let's take a walk and go back in. Hey, don't frown because the squirrel went down. Yeah! The Clinchmeister is in the bathroom doing a little Pinchmeister, and I'm killing squirrels. The story is this, folks. Old Red came to town. He thought he was gonna give me the frown. I shot him right down. Now I'm gonna cook him till he's nice and golden brown. Squirrel down, yeah. That was awesome. Big old grays, big old fox squirrel. God, I love this stuff, you know. It's been 30 walnuts that he dropped down on the ground. And then what he was up there doing is to go up there and they'll knock them walnuts down on the ground, and they hit the ground and they kind of shatter. And then that outside of that shell comes open or breaks open, and then they go down there, and that's what he was doing. I was waiting for him to come down the tree where I had a clear shot at him. So what we decided to do today is bow hunting. We've seen so many squirrels, so we decided to pretend like we were bow hunting today. But I got the old 22 mag here. I'll tell you that with my vortex scope, this thing was awesome.
You already got the glasses out.
You know, that's the problem with getting a little bit older. You know, I just turned 42, and my eyes are starting to slip just a little bit. You know, it's bad when you look through that scope and you have your glasses on. It's as clear as a bell, but you take them off and you're like, I've never worn glasses in my whole life. Damn it, why do I have to be getting older? Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Can squirrel, baby. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's a chipmunk over there.
Dude, I got standards. I'll shoot red squirrels. I'll shoot gray squirrels. I'll shoot black squirrels. I'll shoot fox squirrels. But I'm not gonna shoot a chipmunk.
Oh, I love it!
You got the funk about a chipmunk. I'll tell you what, it's amazing why women don't think you're a hunk, because you want to kill a chipmunk. Look at that baby right there. Man, that is a beaut. I'm saying probably a good, no doubt, 8 to 10 pounds. Look at the tail on that thing. I think the fox squirrels myself are a little bit better eating, a little sweeter, but they're all good. I love to eat squirrels.
We're gonna get some squirrels today.
Little different story here now. It's late morning and we're gonna work some of these ridges. So I'm gonna really be using my binoculars and really looking and trying to actually sneak up on some of these squirrels. We'll sit a little bit, move a little bit, but really a lot more spot and stalk for sure. It's a good time of day. We got some good wind. You know, the tough part about this time of year is you got obviously so much foliage. Probably another 2 weeks, unless we get some really good frost of foliage, and then it makes it a lot easier, obviously, to see these squirrels. But I'm going to be back in full swing on bow hunting, so let's see what we can get done right now, because it is the time to hunt squirrels. Tell me when you're on them. The tree's down. Shoot 'em. Yeah, great down. I was just gonna videotape our camera guy at the clinch. He was sleeping. I was just gonna go around
And all of a sudden I heard the squirrel on the ground right there. And because I was just gonna do it, I heard a little. So it's kind of interesting to. It's kind of interesting. I thought there was another squirrel up there. Maybe there is. It's interesting to mix things up. You know, it's all about having fun. It's all about being able to enjoy the resources that God put here. And I'll tell you something, I'm absolutely loving it. And Clinch, you're no doubt, I heard a little.
Why was that?
Built for fishermen, built by fishermen. Really, that says it all.
It's the family here. It's not a big conglomerate, it's a family.
They treat you, you feel like you're in a family, you know.
When you put those two together, an amazing product and amazing people, it's just the type of company you want to be involved with.
Not only because of just the great boats, but because of the camaraderie that the Warrior family has.
The customer service is amazing. They never leave you hanging.
So come join the Warrior family.
Hey, let's talk a little bit of squirrel strategy. And I mean, yes, squirrel strategy. You know, it's one of them kind of things where I am always learning, and there's a lot of people that are surely a lot better at squirrel hunting than I am. But one of the key things that I would always say to anybody that is starting off as a squirrel hunter is to make sure that you have obviously a good gun, a good scope. Either a pellet gun or a 22 are the most probably efficient ways to hunt squirrels. Obviously these squirrels are living in a lot of these trees, in the holes in the side of the trees. But the key thing is too is the food sources, you know. And when you're looking at all the acorns dropping, all the walnuts, all the hickory nuts dropping, all the acorns, I mean, these are the key food sources for these squirrels. But I always want to keep that sun to my back. So what I do is I get up on the top side and I face downward where that sun is always on your back. So the squirrels are looking into the sun, not me. So it just makes it easier for me to see them, for them not to see me as easily because they're looking back at the sun right there. You know, the other key thing too I've learned is that really having patience. And squirrel hunting can be one of them sports where patience comes into play big time. When you go to sit down in a spot, bare minimum, and I mean bare minimum, give that spot at least a half hour, because them squirrels obviously see you, hear you coming, they run back into the holes, and it takes a good half hour to maybe sometimes even an hour before this thing calms down enough where these squirrels have confidence enough to come back out. My ideal conditions would be just a light mist, a little bit of rain. So what I like to do is typically until the rut comes, I'll bow hunt, you know, right away in the morning up till about 10 o'clock. I'll go back and grab something to eat, go out and hunt a different area for squirrels until like 2:30 or 3, and then get back in the tree. So it fills that whole day up, so you're not just going out bow hunting and then going back, well, especially like for us, we're up north here, and then going back to the cabin and then, you know, sitting there doing nothing. It's a great way again to fill the rest of that day up. We're going to go back and clean these squirrels up, and we're going to definitely put them in a slow cooker and cook them down and pull that meat off, and we'll show you guys exactly how we're going to do it. Just hang on to your heinies.
Hey everybody, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. Hey, I'll tell you what, today we were out squirrel hunting, and you know, we shot a few of these squirrels early this morning, and here's a big thing when it comes to squirrels, when it comes to cleaning a squirrel. You see how stiff some of these squirrels are? What I'm gonna do to loosen that hide up a little bit on that carcass, I'm basically just gonna take, I got a bucket of water here, I'm just gonna let them sit in there for a couple of seconds while I get the knife out. And what that'll actually do is that'll loosen up that hide so it'll come right off. So first thing I'm gonna do, basically, I'm gonna cut off the legs, cut off the tail, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically just take my knife and go right up like that. Cut all the way up and make a little cut right up around the neck. You know, a lot of people think that cleaning squirrels is a pain in the butt, but I'll tell you what, once you do it the right way one time, it's a piece of cake. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that meat, or grab the skin, and basically see how easy that's coming off just by getting that wet. I mean, it's like simple. It's amazing how much of a difference it makes. So what I'm doing here, basically just working that right off of there. Ooh, piece of cake. Come right around the front legs. Squirrel done. Didn't take much, so what I do makes it real easy. Is basically I'm going to cut it up into 5 pieces. So I'm going to cut off. There's one of the legs. There's 2 of the legs. There's 4. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so I don't want to get all bloody. I'm going to do this so you guys can see it. I'm going to cut right up the ribs right there. Cut up the other side. It's a lot easier to do this with the snippers. 5 really good pieces of meat right there, and it took me probably less than a minute and a half to do. You know, Eric, my friend, you beat me fair and square, and I do not feel bad about it this year because I know you hunted hard. You know, what a great way, again, to try to break up the bow hunting. You know, we took a different area of the place where we hunt and basically just designated that for squirrel hunting. And basically after we're done bow hunting, went and did a little squirrel hunting for a few hours and had some fun.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
a great time.
That's what it's all about right there. Hey everybody, we're putting our QR code on our vehicles now or on our show if you see it. All you got to do is take your phone and scan it and it'll automatically take you to our YouTube page and then hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate that.
Hey, thank you for giving me your life, but I'm gonna feed it to my wife. You know what she just did? She got a whiff of you. Did you wipe your butt when you got done moving? Hey, Clinchmeister, was that your squirrel call? God dang it, I almost got you. You're lucky the squirrel saved you. That's not good, dude. I told you you're supposed to wipe twice.